Hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Hope everyone's had a fantastic Monday, new start of the week, and all that good stuff, of course. But yeah, Arsenal is the gift that keeps on giving, I guess, if I can put it that way. Arsenal is the gift that keeps on giving. Because there are some talks regarding new contracts, some talks regarding some transfer rumors. And the big question still remains, is there an injury war in general? Because it's not a great sign when we are dropping so rapidly. Definitely, yes, players are coming back, but players also are getting injured. That, for me, is a big worry. So we'll see how that goes. But definitely, we're going to today discuss this. Definitely going to discuss this. We'll see how this is gonna go. But yeah, for today on the cards, we're gonna talk about new contracts at Arsenal, potential ones, sooner ones, later ones, some transfer rumors which are very vague, very random, very unexpected once again. But we're gonna discuss some stuff here or there, more specifically regarding the left wing, interestingly enough, and of course the injury worry, because it's one thing when you get injuries, right? Another thing, completely different thing, is when your most durable players who almost never got injured for you start dropping like flies, and they start dropping quite rapidly step by step on consistent basis as well. That, like Saka, Gabriel, Havertz, another one. So definitely there are some stuff to discuss in that regard. So like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new around here, and leave your thoughts down in the live chat. Definitely leave your thoughts down in the live chat. Big up, Reese. Big up. I will always support you, even if it's just a like. Big up. Appreciate your support. You're one of the silent ones. Big up to you. Thank you so much for your support. And hopefully everything is going well with you. Hope life is treating you well. And hope everything is well by your side. Big up, Mubarak. Well, we have the chances there. Arsenal need the Rodrygo service. The question is the chance even there? Because the rumors are all over the place. We are back again on the same train we were last summer, which is quite weird. It's quite unexpected. And I don't know what to make of it personally, because it got grave silent, radio silent, and now it's back again. It's back again. Right in front of you on the screen. It is back again. The thing is, though, it's coming from the most credible source, which is fish eyes. As I call them, it's ficayas or whatever. I call them the fish eyes because 90% of the time when they have said something, it has been false. So it is what it is. But Arsenal, Spurs, and Manchester City have reportedly submitted bids totaling 60 million euros plus 20 million in achievable add-ons for Rodrygo. These supposed offers have prompted manager Xabi Alonso to advise Florentino Perez to seriously consider selling the player, as Alonso believes his time at the club may be coming to an end. And there have been lots of these discussions, specifically in Real Madrid and in Spain, for quite a while, that Rodrygo is not in Xabi Alonso's plans. He's not getting that much of a game time, and he doesn't have as big of a role as he imagined, especially given the fact that nobody's replacing Vini on the left. On the right, Arda Güler plays more. On the right, Güler plays more. Even that Elustondo, however the most Tondo, whatever that Argentinian guy's name is, he also plays much more. And Rodrygo kind of has fallen in the pecking order. Let's just put it that way. And Rodrygo has had his own doubts, and now it looks like it's getting more and more. The thing is, though, I'm also reading that Arsenal are not going to sign anyone in January. That is as of now. Obviously, it's only second part of November, still a month and a half to go, let's be real. And if Arsenal are going to get hit with injuries, Arsenal are still focused on resolving the issues, just like they did last year, with internal solutions. At least that's what I'm reading today as well. So go figure how that is going to go. Big up, Ryan. Big up. I know this is a weird question, but do people golf a lot in Latvia? They do golf. How much, I cannot tell you, because golf in general is an expensive sport. More, let's just say, rich people, they do, but not to an extent like it's maybe in other countries. But they do golf. We have golf courses here, definitely. Why don't we look at Kvaratskhelia from PSG? He's good. I don't know how much he would go for, though. The chance for Arsenal to sign Kvaratskhelia was last January, when he went for 65 million. Right now, to sign Kvaratskhelia, Arsenal would need to cough up at least double that, to say the least, because he just joined there. He has won the Champions League. He's a pivotal part for them, and it's gonna be almost impossible to get him out from such a team. Big up Oaxaca. Big up Marlon, Barcola, Semenyo, Nusa, Yildiz. There are options. Big up Tyrell. Big up Tyrell. Hope you're doing well, people. Go subscribe to Tyrell as well. Does elite content there daily as well on his channel. Go show him some love. Rodrygo Rumours going around today again. Yes, they are. They have resurfaced kind of out of nowhere because it went very silent as soon as transfer window closed. Obviously, it's international break. People need to talk, right? And on top of all that, January transfer window is coming up. And I'm not going to lie, it is definitely a discussion point at the moment because I'm not going to lie, the Rodrygo stats for this season, it's not that great, is it? Definitely not that great because even if you look at Rodrygo's playtime this season, definitely raises some questions. We can look at it right now, to be honest. Here it is. He played 63 minutes, 18 minutes, 13, 8, 27, 86, 18, 11, 11. So he doesn't even start. He comes off the bench more. He in Champions League, he played one. Internationals don't count. In Champions League as well, he played one from the start. Rest of them have been subs. Nothing more, nothing less. So he actually doesn't play that much. And look at this. Only 359 minutes in 13 games, which technically comes out to, if I quickly can, if I quickly do the math here, it is 27 minutes a game on average. 27 minutes on average, which is also would not be surprising. Why? These rumors are starting to come up once again. Definitely would not be surprising. Yeah, Nusa as well. Dude, trust me, Rodrygo is still him. Rodrygo on the left wingers, we are the best people. Yeah, exactly. Rodrygo by default is a left winger. His best position is left wing. People tend to forget that. He played on the right only because, well, nobody's going to take out Vinny. That is also the case. Sure, but Real won't play him there. Exactly. Arsenal on the left wing can easily play Rodrygo. Let's be real. Exactly. Nusa would cost more than Rodrygo. That is also the case. Nusa would cost insane amount of money. We saw how it went with Sesko from RB Leipzig. Now think about how it would go from RB Leipzig with Nusa as well. We cannot forget that. Semenyo, of course, as well. Since you are mentioning Semenyo, right? Here is the case. Today, the hot topic Semenyo is as well, to be honest. Because according to David Ornstein, Bournemouth fear they can't stop Antoine Semenyo leaving in January, despite wanting to keep him up until season's end. His price previously was around 70 million, which has now been set at 65 for the winter transfer window. Yes, there is a specific time frame in which you need to pay that. Well, trigger that, right? At the same time, it's 65 million right now. In January, and there are lots of interest. There is United, there is City, allegedly. There is Arsenal, there is Spurs. Spurs are also looking for a left winger. Spurs have been linked with Semenyo and also with what's its face with Rodrygo as well. Spurs have also been linked with both of them, so definitely that is a bit of a thing here as well. Spurs are also looking for that what's its face Son's replacement, and they still haven't found it as well. So definitely there are some stuff going around which definitely raises some questions. It's gonna be very, very, very interesting. Rodrygo arguably is the third best left winger on the planet. Would you not want that? I would say he is in somewhere like 3, 4, top 4, definitely. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Here's Oaxaca's link. Go subscribe to him. Here is Tyrell's link as well. Go subscribe to Tyrell if you haven't already. Big up Hyper Protagonist. Hope you're doing well today, my bro. People, like and subscribe. Big up AJ, hardest working man in the community. Subscribe, like, listen to AJ, like and subscribe. Real would want 100 million, bro. And why would bro? Nah, definitely. They won't want 100 plus million right now. They will not want 100 plus million for Rodrygo at the moment. I really, really doubt that, because at the moment, Real, they need the money as well to some extent, although they don't need money, let's be real. But selling him for like 70 million, I think that will be very reasonable. They signed him for 45 million from Santos, for 45 million. And I think even if they get 70, 80, that will be a very good, very, very, very good one in those terms, 100%. But yeah, this is starting up again, and it's a bit of an issue here. How do you think America will do in the World Cup? Well, you'll be lucky if you get out of the group. Let's just put it that way. You will be lucky if you get out of the group. Let's just say it like that. In my opinion, definitely. You will be lucky if that happens. But very, very, very lucky. Give me a second. My phone, I need to do something here. That's that. That's done. That's triggered. Here we go. Yes, there we go. There we go, people. Yeah. For me, don't overthink it. This Rodrygo is the third best left wing on the planet behind Vini and Quada. So only 60. Yeah, 60, 70 million, that would be very nice. 80 million euros overall, 70 to 75 million pounds. I think that is very good. Very good, especially when you look at certain players who are basically half of the player what Rodrygo is, go for the same, if not more. I think that definitely would be cheaper. His career's not ruined. Nah, don't be so negative. Real Madrid would take 60, so pay it. No, Real Madrid would take the 60, 70 million for Rodrygo, that shadow of a doubt, if that would become a reality. Semenyo is the Arsenal fan, bring him in home. It or must be. Yeah, I think Semenyo or Rodrygo, I think, would be ideal. In my opinion, definitely. And with Andrea Berta, I have more belief than anything right now that if we actually went for Rodrygo, we actually would get him. 100%. We would get him. Why would they come to Arsenal with our, like, trust me, it's not that straight these days. My opinion, you guys make round 16. Well, for me, USA will be lucky if they get out of the group, depending who they get in the group, obviously. Big up EW, big up. But let's say we sign Rodrygo, that makes our dude. If Arsenal sign Rodrygo in January and Arteta still wins all, let's be real, he's out of here already. Like, the Arteta will not get another season, especially if he gets Rodrygo. We don't need another left winger. We need another left winger. We desperately need a left winger. Our left-sided winger has been screwed up for 3 years. It's been embarrassing. We need desperately. What do you mean another? Do you even have a left winger? Exactly. We don't actually even have a left winger. That is the biggest thing. We need a left winger desperately. We definitely do need a left winger. Gabriel Martinelli is a 9, and Trossard needs compatriot. Exactly. Trossard is more of a 10. He's very good there as well as the secondary striker, number 10. He's actually been very, very good in the 4-4-2 when he played there as well. He's been very, 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 very good, to be honest. Martinelli is more of a 9 than the left wing. And if we look at that, we don't even have a left wing, technically speaking. Because Eze is also not a left winger per se. He's more of a 10, a free roaming number 10 who can drift in from the left. Let's just put it that way. Martinelli and Trossard have both done well this season. Where? With Trossard, I can agree with Trossard. With Martinelli, where? Martinelli has done well this season. Where has Martinelli done well this season? He's been useless in Premier League. Very bad. Like, let's be real. He's been quite useless in Premier League. And he comes mostly off the bench in Premier League as well. Now that he's injured, he makes him even more of a nuisance in that regard. Didn't we need the Ukrainian guy a couple of years ago, for 65 million? Why were coming? We wanted to sign Mudryk, by the way, for 90 something million before he went to Chelsea 2 years ago when we signed Trossard 2.5 years ago. We went for him and we didn't sign Mudryk. Let's be real. Let's not forget that as well. I just put it that way. There's not left wingers again. Trossard 10 / yeah, exactly. They are both garbage, bro. Don't make any of Trossard and Martinelli are still up. Trossard is good. Trossard actually has been very decent, but Trossard needs to play more central. We cannot make them both touchline wingers and expect anything because none of them are touchline wingers. Trossard is better in the middle, and Martinelli in general is better as a number 9, technically speaking. I would be dropping the 160 to get both Rodrygo and Semenyo, and we move. That could be an interesting one. 160 million. We're not gonna drop that though. We're definitely not gonna drop that. I just put it that way. I've been saying this for over a year. Sell Gabriel Jesus, Havertz, Mikel Merino, and keep Gabriel Martinelli as backup number 9. Yeah, that is also a big question. Why we don't see Martinelli as a 9? Just because? I don't even know, because Martinelli was cooking for Arsenal when he was playing as a number 9. We cannot forget that. He was cooking for Arsenal as a number 9, without shadow of a doubt. Saka at left wing, Rodrygo or Semenyo would be good. No, Saka on the right wing, leave him there. If we sign Rodrygo, leave Saka on the right. Rodrygo's main position is left wing. I don't know why people don't want to realize that his best position is left wing, and he by default is a natural left winger where his career started and he has been the best. Only reason he doesn't play left wing as much is because Vinny plays left wing for Real Madrid. 12 likes, big up to you all, people. Big up to you. If we can push it up to 15, maybe 20, would forever be grateful. Martinelli did well as number 9 when he played there some years ago. Exactly. And he plays as a number 9 at times for Brazil, and he scores there as well. So why Arsenal are not playing him as a number 9? Because again, Martinelli is a 9, 11 goals in 13 games at 18 proves that Arteta moved him for no reason. Yeah, exactly. Odegaard needs to start finding houses in Saudi or USA. Like, can you envision Odegaard playing in the MLS? Can you envision him doing that? No, Martinelli is not trash, definitely. Our players, first things first, our players are not as bad as people portray them out to be. I am also one of the people who is reason for that, because I tend to criticize them quite a bit. But underlying cause, and I always have said this, is Mikel Arteta. Because we have seen how good Trossard can be. We have seen how good Martinelli can be. We have seen how actually Odegaard how good he can be. But the downfall of all of them, including Emil Smith-Rowe to some extent, even Bukayo Saka, it is all on Mikel Arteta. Because he changed the style, he changed the system, he changed the way we want to play. And that's why our players basically have fallen off a cliff at the end of the day. That's why it feels that way, no matter how you look at it. Big up, Andrew, big up. Would rather Leao instead of Rodrygo, but it's all about preference, price, opinions. Can we do a swap deal Martinelli with Milan? I don't know. I don't think AC Milan would take him. Martinelli gets, what? Almost 2 times the wages Leao gets at the moment. Leao is on like 108 grand or 104 grand a week. Martinelli is on 180 grand a week. 1.8 times more. Like, that is insane if you think about it. Martinelli would be good in Serie A or La Liga. Yeah, I definitely believe so. Martinelli would be good at Serie A or La Liga. I think so too. Definitely. I don't know why we bought Merino. To be honest, neither do I. Genuinely, neither do I. Because at the time when we were linked with Merino, right, we were also linked vaguely with Fabian Ruiz. And I was begging that we sign Fabian Ruiz. I was begging for us to sign Fabian Ruiz. And of course we didn't. So that went well. That definitely went well. He doesn't fit in a particular position. He can hit the ball well, but he doesn't have speed. Yeah. It sounds pretty much the same like Havertz. Why we signed Havertz? He doesn't fit ideally in any position he plays in. He can do a few positions on a good level, but to have that extended, that specialist type of role where he's very good, fantastic, where he can make his role his, he doesn't have that. Like, that is another like 65, 38 for Merino. That's 100 million wasted of the 1 billion already, if you look from that point of view. No, MLS. Martinelli's on 180 a week, so we could try him at like 30 million pounds for Leao. Maybe. But Leao gets way, way, way less, though. That is the biggest worry here. I keep saying this as well. Pedri has 130 million pound buyout clause. Sell Odegaard and 50. I would love Pedri at Arsenal. Would love to. But the injury record that Pedri possesses also doesn't bode well. That definitely doesn't bode well. And to be honest, Pedri has signed for new contract, right? And he has 1 billion release clauses, technically speaking. Technically speaking, for Barcelona, not even 130. He technically has 1 billion. Skill moves real doesn't prove anything. Exactly. That's more flashy. That's more Ronald. If you're Ronaldinho, skill moves mean a lot. If you're Martinelli, it doesn't mean too much. Pedri won't leave. I don't think so. Pedri is gonna pull a Xavi or Iniesta and stay until he's in his 30s. I definitely believe so. I definitely. Sorry. I definitely believe so. Definitely. The dude, he can't eat young. Like, it is what it is. Marlon, stop being so negative and criticizing players. Martinelli is not as bad as you're making him out to be. None of our players, to a certain extent, are as bad as people are portraying them out to be. Let's be real. Let's be real at the end of the day. We had this discussion with Gianni as well when he was on the channel. Bless up Gianni as well. We talked about this. None of our players are as bad as they are being, as we sometimes Arsenal fans, including myself, are portraying them out to be. It's just the frustration, the annoyance, the sadness, the pain of the fact that we know how good they can be because we have seen them being 10 times the players they are currently. That is the biggest reason why. I just put it that way. Arsenal legend Gnabry scoring for Germany. Hey, Arsenal's one of the worst mistakes Arsenal made. Then again, if Gnabry doesn't leave Arsenal, I don't think he becomes the player he is today. In my opinion, Gyökeres has been poor so far. Yeah, well, it's hard to be good when you genuinely get no service, nobody plays to your strengths, and you are misused in your team, and, well, you get played as if you are a playmaking number 9. Like Jesus. We are using Gyökeres like as if he is Jesus or Havertz up top at the end of the day. And this is, again, the same thing. It comes down to the manager, to the system, to the style, and that, again, is ruining him. Because he did none of that, pretty much none of that, what he's doing at Arsenal, he did at Sporting Lisbon. And Martinelli hasn't been a scapegoat. It's been like that for 2.5 years. There is nothing scapegoating regarding Martinelli as well. What do you mean from Victor Gyökeres when Arteta is not playing to? Exactly. 3-0 Sane. Damn. Slovakia, go home, you're a junk. The games are going well, right? I am looking. Let me check. What are we saying? Czech Republic 3-0 up against Gibraltar. Germany 3-0. Malta are drawing against Poland. By the way, Malta are drawing against Poland. How is this happening? Standings. Where are the standings? They cannot do anything. They definitely cannot do anything. Netherlands must win. By the way, who is playing for Netherlands? 1-0 against Lithuania at the moment. Reinders scored from De Jong's assist. And Timber is playing. Timber is playing for Netherlands. Let's just hope he comes away injury-free. He doesn't get any injuries. Let's just hope for that one, at least for now. Because then it could be quite troublesome if he gets injured as well in this regard. Let's just put it that way. So time only will tell. We will see. Time only will tell. We will see, of course. Where were we? Can I be honest? If we have another injury to an important player before Crystal Palace, he will throw Crystal Palace. There is a possibility of that. I think it kind of strictly depends who gets injured. If we get another injury, it depends who gets injured, because there are positions where if we get injuries, we actually have someone decent cover or very decent cover. If it's one of those positions where the cover is basically drop off, like genuinely like the Grand Canyon, yeah, then we could be screwed. Definitely, we could be screwed in that regard. Gyökeres doesn't have the Havertz love, whereas everyone feeds him the ball and he still misses. The thing is, this is the big issue. We play Gyökeres like we have Havertz up top. The thing is, the part for me is Havertz excels at this part very well compared to Gyökeres. Linking up the play, passing of the ball, and that link-up play he possesses allows him to drift into positions where he has the chance to score. The issue is he doesn't have the finishing touch. Gyökeres, on the other hand, has the finishing touch, but doesn't have the link-up play, which basically makes them both kind of neutralize each other out in terms of that, which is screwing Arsenal up. Hence why I was hoping, which was obviously a long shot, but that with Gyökeres' signing, Arteta would change the style, how we play. Just like Pep adapted to Haaland to a certain extent. I was hoping Arteta would adapt to Gyökeres to a certain extent. And obviously he didn't. Let's just put it that way. Gyökeres can't score for Sweden at the moment and hasn't the speed. If we're gonna use national games as a measuring stick, might as well use his, I don't know, shitting patterns when he goes to the toilet in the morning to basically maintain his focus levels. That, for me, international games I instantly take out of the equation. Instantly take out the equation when you judge a player. Because going off international game hype is one of the worst things you can do to some extent. One of the worst things you can do, especially when you talk about the team like Sweden. Because if we go by these measurements, to a certain extent, Lewandowski is a useless striker. Because for Poland, for him playing is 10 times harder than playing for Bayern Munich, or for Barcelona, or for Borussia Dortmund back in the day. Obviously, for Poland, when they had Piszczek and Blaszczykowski, at least on that right side, it was a bit different story. But right now, it's a completely different situation. Speaking of Timber is available on the free next summer, Berta, you must. True, but I'm reading that Quinton Timber might be going to Napoli. I'm reading that Napoli are looking to replace injured Kevin De Bruyne with Quinton Timber, at least for now. Broad treats Havertz like he's loved. Yeah. Havertz excels at something. I'm not saying at Arsenal. I'm just comparing him to Gyökeres in general. And that is unfortunately the situation. If in those terms, for me at least, that's how I see it. What of Kvaratskhelia rumors to Arsenal? It's not gonna happen. I don't see Kvaratskhelia signing for Arsenal at all so far. Why would he leave a club where he signed less than a year ago, won the Champions League, won this Ligue 1, won the treble pretty much, is one of the main guys, and why would he move? And would Arsenal cough up 120 to 130 million up for him? We missed the train on Kvaratskhelia last January when he was available for 60, 65 million. Forget about him. Fully and utterly forget about him. To be fair, Kane, Mbappe, etc. shop for both their international clubs constantly. Poland have been shit for a while. Exactly. Kane plays for England. Mbappe plays for France. And you compare them to Poland, to Sweden, where they have, let's just say, 3, 4 maybe good players, and the rest of them are, well, you have seen what happens. And they don't have the creative abilities. They don't have the defensive abilities. They don't have lots of stuff that their clubs possesses where specific players play at. Like, that's why, for me, international games are utterly thing I don't take into consideration when I talk about the players in those terms. The system is built for Harry Kane, so why don't we buy him before the ban? Yeah, this system, Harry Kane in this team would be fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. Harry Kane with the link-up play, with the abilities, with the scoring, finishing touches, and the strength and power he possesses, he would be good in this system, ironically enough. He's an ex-Arsenal. Why not get him? Big up Dr. Seymour. Big up Le Doctor. Big up. We missed the Quara train. Exactly. We missed it big time. Slovakia even gave double O Merchant 2 assists. Well, at least he can do something somewhere. If you cannot do something for Liverpool, do at least for national team. You saw that video when he saw Arsenal shirt. Kvaratskhelia would cost us at least exactly. Right now, he would cost us 140, 130 million. He has a 5-year deal, if I'm not mistaken. He just signed less than a year ago. It's all done and dusted. Just peace out. Why would Kane sign for this team rival? People. Definitely. Like, why wouldn't he? He will come back to Premier League at some point. So, will he go to Spurs? Who knows? I don't think so. Where could he go then? United? Loyalties these days in football are hella overrated because you don't see these type of footballers anymore these days. You don't see players like pretty much Steven Gerrard or Xavi or Iniesta or Busquets that pretty much play their whole life in one team, De Rossi, Totti, and all these players, right? On top of all that, in years ago, you didn't see as much players moving between rival teams. Now you see them on every single corner. Chelsea, Arsenal, and all these teams, they just move around like no tomorrow. It was a shock. Arsenal sold Van Persie. That was different circumstances, but it is. Certain things are not happening anymore. Certain things are not happening anymore. But these days, it's happening a lot. The rivalries are very, very become kind of minuscule these days as well. Because after the games, for example, Arsenal United, Vieira versus Keane, they would never go there, have a laugh, shake their hand, swap the shirts and everything. They would go punch each other up. These days after Arsenal United, oh, bro, how's it going? When's your baby due? Want to meet up for some kebab and gyros and talk about the latest in, I don't know, parking meter schemes and everything like that? Come on, what are we doing here? Big up Cooper. Big up Cooper. Hope you're doing well. Smash the likes, people. Smash the goddamn likes if you haven't already. Big up, doctor. Big up le doctor. Big up le doctor. Hope you're doing well today. And if you have time, you can also jump on, talk about some stuff. If you have anything you want to share, let's just put it that way. Now, I'm going to show you this because I can, and I will. Let me get through the chat, though, first. No, you said it, Levish. On the international teams, yeah. That was like saying, I didn't say he is. That was like saying Lewandowski is shit for international teams. But it is like that. People do that because the whole team is shit. Exactly. That's why I was talking about this in regards of Gyökeres, because PW was saying Gyökeres is shit. I'm not. Mbappe, Kane, they play for some of the biggest teams in the world. They will have no problem in scoring, getting created chances, and all this crap. I'm talking about the other teams that have maybe 1-2 big star players, and the rest of them are there, who they are at the end of the day. Let's just put it that way. Exactly. Why would he winning Champions League? Why would he leave? Exactly. You are some weirdo, and I'm not even gonna indulge you anymore if you're gonna go it from this place. God knows I've had a fair share of being mistaken for a Slovak and tried to dish it to others. What? Probably need to make Doncic as your profile picture. Maybe then people will take you seriously. Although they might think you're an American, and that could be worse, technically speaking. No offense, Dr. Seymour, by the way. I'm doing well, bro. Hope you're doing, unfortunately, on a work call for next. All good. Enjoy your work. Enjoy your work, brother. Hope the work treats you well, too. Big up, abs. Hope you're doing well today, bro. Hope you are doing well today, my bro. Hope everything is great with you. Great stream today as well. Great stream with Yessa, with the Taxman and everything. Our seasonal supplier of Chelsea dinner. Let's just put it that way. Go, people, if you haven't already as well, go subscribe to Abs. Show him some love. Does daily content as panel shows, all that good stuff. Go show him some love. And here is his link. Big up, AJ, for the link. Big up. Go subscribe to Abs as well. I shouldn't put the Sasha, the Machine Vujacic, then everyone would know. Maybe. Oh no, I shouldn't. I should not, to be honest. I can put. I have name as I have. You don't have your nationality in your name. That is a big difference. To be honest, at the same time, I've been called everything besides Latvian. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, people. These are the stats. I just wanted to show you this. These are the stats. Gabriel Magalhaes, injury at Arsenal. Arsenal with and without Premier League since September 2020. Well, since we signed him, let's just put it that way. With Gabriel has played 171 games, 110 wins, 27 draws, 34 losses, 64.3% win percentage, 2.1 points per game Arsenal get with Gabriel at the back. Now, without Gabriel, and it's only 30 games, which seems very insane. Very, very insane. But Arsenal have only 12 wins, 10 draws, 8 losses. Only 40% win percentage, which is actually hella boring, isn't it? With Gabriel in the team, we win 25% more, which is kind of worrying, I'm not gonna lie, if we are looking from that perspective. And 1.5 points per game on average, which is 0.6 points we lose per game, which means that if we go by laws of averages, every second game we drop points. Every second game we drop points. It definitely is absolutely worrying. People say, oh no, we have the depth and everything. But this is despite everything. And I think Gabriel is going to play a very, very significant role in all of this. How long he's going to be out for, how much is going to affect Arsenal, and where we're going to land after that, definitely it's going to be quite insane. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, it is the Gabriel effect. Definitely, big Gabriel effect is happening here. And I'm not so sure, obviously we have Hincapié, Mosquera, even Calafiori, who can play left-sided center back. Then again, it's not Gabriel, is it? And Andrew Arteta, he has basically, and this will sound very wrong, but bear with me here. He has drained and milked the players dry. Players are starting to drop like flies. They are getting big, long-term injuries. Then injuries are starting to reoccur. That happened to Saka. That happened to Gabriel Magalhaes. Has happened to Timba at times as well already. And the biggest worry right now is, will that or will that not happen to others? Will that happen to Rice? Rice is my next big worry. Genuinely, it's my next big worry in that regard. Because if this starts to happen to Rice, we are screwed. Because if we can replace Gabriel to a certain extent by a player, we don't have the facilities to replace, basically, Rice pretty much at all on offense and on defense as well. And what we gonna do then? That is the big question. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Well, he performed better than at Arsenal because Tuchel uses him properly. Big up Wahaha for gifting one membership. Big up the legend. Big up the legend Wahaha. And oh my goodness gracious, that one membership has been received by the one, the only, Waffled On. Abs himself has received a membership from Wahaha on this channel. Big up Wahaha. Much appreciate that. Welcome Abs to the community. At some point when we get about 10-15 members, we will do members only streams, members only videos and stuff like that. But we need to get there. And I see you when I get there and all that stuff, of course. Hey, no laughing here. I did nothing. Our backups need to step in. The next few games will be testament for Christian and Piero. That's why we bought him. Exactly. And big them up. Rephrasing a cringe theme song. The time is now. Hey, John Cena and all this stuff, you know. Yeah, well, at least Cena's, well, to be honest, Cena's time is up. He's the last one to earn. He's out. But at the end of the day, yeah, Mosquera and Hincapié definitely will have to step up right now. And it will be a very tall task to a certain extent, depending on how long Gabriel is out for. Because Hincapié seems like obviously is one of the options, but he hasn't played too much at all in Premier League. He hasn't played too much at all, to be honest, at Arsenal, due to the fact that he got injured and he had to miss loads of games. Mosquera, he has played much more, obviously. The issue with Mosquera is he is way too similar to Saliba, in my opinion. The reason why Gabriel and Saliba work so well together is because they're straight opposites in a way. The way they defend, the way they see the game, and the way they play. That's why they complement each other so well. And unfortunately, with Mosquera, we get two kind of similar defenders. Plus, Gabriel also has enough Oh, sorry, my eye is itching. Hella. Gabriel has enough skill to also to help defend for Calafiori at times, help to back against Rice and everything. Now that he's not gonna be there, our left side will be more exposed. Without shadow of a doubt, our left side is gonna be more exposed, which is definitely a big worry for me, and especially coming up against even against Spurs, against Kudus, it's gonna be rough. Against Bayern Munich, it goes without saying. Against Elise, big up Claire, she's probably gonna be caught in between two worlds, watching Elise and he's playing against Arsenal, and of course then Chelsea against Estevao. If he's out for all these 3 games at least, it's gonna be long. It definitely is gonna be long, and it's gonna be very, very worrying, in my opinion. It's already ringing certain alarm bells. And if on top of that we get some more injuries, oh my goodness gracious, how bad this could go in that regard. Definitely could go very, 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 very bad. I'm sure I might sound as a top G. Oh, but once I mentioned I might be Andrew, but I'm not Tate. Ukrainian top G. We can't lose Rice. Yeah, we cannot afford to lose Rice. 100%. Did he predominantly play on the left for Valencia? Yes, they got very similar style, but that's why I personally put Hincapie in front of Mosquera. Exactly. He played on the left-sided center back for Valencia, but that was mostly because last year Diakabi was quite injured. Last year, and he replaced him pretty much. Last year, Diakabi, let me check, because if I'm not mistaken, Diakabi last year missed about, 20 games? Or something weird like that. Last year, Diakabi missed 46 games. He had 24, 25, sorry. Yeah, he missed insane amount of games. And that's the biggest thing. That's why he got replaced. Mosquera played in his position. That's why. And it was really, really rough situation for him. He had this knee injury throughout the whole season till end of January, and then he missed 5 more games because he was on the bench to recover. And he also, but even when he came back for the first 10 games, he played only 2 full games. Rest of them were literally 1 minute, 15 minutes, 3 minutes, 9 minutes, 7 minutes. Mosquera played pretty much every single game instead of him. So he was forced kind of there to play. And yeah, it will be a bit interesting. And the way Calafiori plays for us at the moment, I don't really want to see him as a Gabi replacement. Maybe if there's some more evidence that he can legit back Gabi in the center. Exactly. And that's the thing. The way even Calafiori plays for us as a left back, Gabriel at least can cover for him to a certain extent. He can watch it. He can patrol that area additionally. Right? So at the end of the day, it could actually be very, very worrying. Very worrying. We could be very exposed to a certain extent on that left side. Very exposed. Nah, she won't. She'll be full Elise. You don't know that. You don't know that. Once Claire comes in the chat, we're gonna ask her this, but I definitely believe she's gonna be kind of torn in between 2 worlds, between Arsenal and Elise, 100%. Let's look even at the World Cup qualifications at the moment, because let's take a mini 5-minute break. Czech Republic are winning 5-0 against Gibraltar. Holy crap. Dureda, Chori, Tufal, Karabek. Okay. Czech Republic are basically going to finish second in the group at the moment with this win. Germany 4-0 against Slovakia. This is going interesting. Voltemade scored, Gnabry, and 2 times Sane scored. Germany are going to finish first in the group because they're beating Slovakia, who are second. They're going to finish first in the group, which is very interesting, to be honest. They're going to get automatic qualification. Malta still joined against Poland, which is nuts. Netherlands versus Lithuania. Reinders has scored, and that's about it. Timber is still on the pitch and not injured at all, which is great news because for me right now, we need to get through this without Timber getting injured. That for me is the next thing at the moment going on in my mind. Yeah, big up Haha for the membership. Big up abs as well. Big up abs every single time. Gibraltar, yeah. Gibraltar and all that stuff. So definitely, it's gonna be interesting. For me, the question is, why is this back? This is for me the biggest question because this was a link throughout almost whole summer. Then it went radio silent, full on radio silent. And right now, as it's international break, nothing much to talk about. And also the January transfer window is, let's just say, 5 weeks away. Why is this resurfacing? For me, it's either they don't have anything to talk about or they just need something. Because I kind of don't see it. Arsenal, Spurs, and Man City. This is the nuts part. Arsenal, Man City, I can get why. I can see upsides for Rodrygo coming to Arsenal or going to City, right? But him going to Spurs, I don't see an upside. It's kind of weird, definitely, but he's available also for very cheap money. Rodrygo is available, technically speaking, for very, very cheap money. Exactly, that's what it feels like. Rodrygo's agent is pushing the narrative. Because last summer, these were the same 3 clubs that allegedly were very interested in Rodrygo. There is nothing new. The price has changed by about 20 million, to be honest. But besides that, nothing else has changed, which is very, very weird. Very, very, very weird. For me personally. And of course, then you have this from Fabrizio Romano, that Bournemouth may be powerless and in preventing Semenyo to leave Bournemouth in January. 65 million release clauses available to all clubs, but must be triggered by a set date to get time to replace. I would assume something like what, 20th max, latest 20th January. Applies again in summer at a lower price, which means in summer he would be cheaper, right? That's what they're saying. If you want him mid-season, it's 65 million. Now, he costs pretty much at this stage the same amount of, well, to be honest, more expensive he is than Rodrygo, ironically enough. He is more expensive than Rodrygo. No matter how you look at it, 65 million release clauses. Rodrygo is 60 million euros, which is even less, which is about, what, 53, 54 million pounds. Obviously, there are the add-ons, 20 million, which is about 17 million. That comes together to like 70 million pounds. But if you look at it together, 70 million pounds for Rodrygo or 65 million for Semenyo, the 5 million difference, it's nothing special in these terms, because we are not talking about someone like Yeovil Town or no offense, but Everton. We are talking about Arsenals here. Let's be real. He gets crumbs of playing time whilst Vinny is living like a bitch. Exactly. That is the biggest thing. I don't know about this Semenyo. He's decent, but 65 million is wild. Rodrygo and Vinny, in my opinion, are both bums. There's plenty of options around in these lot. True, I totally agree with that. But people are floating the same names around. Rodrygo, Semenyo, and Nusa, right? Rodrygo is about 70 to 75 million pounds. Semenyo is 65 million pounds. 100% that Nusa from RB Leipzig is going to be about 80 to 90 million pounds. He's going to be the same price as Sesko, if not more. Just because he's younger, he is more hype, and he has presented himself for Norway and a tiny bit also for RB Leipzig. So ultimately, those 3 should be off the books. There are more options to sign, but I don't even know. Yildiz would be available for about 60, 70 million. Go get me Yildiz. Rafael would be about 70 to 80 million. Maybe go for him. Although also I don't trade Leao because he's way too inconsistent for me. Way too inconsistent to say the least. Because I'm saying that I've been saying this for over a year now, if not more, that if he's on it, he's unplayable. But if he stinks more than anyone on the pitch and by a mile. That is the biggest thing. So for me personally, Yildiz could be the answer, potentially, if you ask me. Yildiz could be the answer. Sorry, my camera just, again, it's something weird happening today with camera. I may be proven wrong, but Semenyo looked really passive in the last 3-4 games. He's walking, not even sprinting, like he's somewhere else. Yeah, I'm not surprised because the big clubs are circling around him consistently right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's there. Isn't Yildiz the same player as Eze? No, he's not. Yildiz is a left winger. Eze is technically a 10. We need a left winger personally. If we are looking from that shade, weight, and form. Eze is not the same. If we played the way we should be playing football, this team should be playing the attacking style, Yildiz and Eze would fit perfectly together to a T, to the maximum extent. With Gyökeres up top and Saka on the right, it would be ideal. But since we play this pragmatic style, Eze could be interfering with Yildiz together. Then again, Yildiz's ability to have tight space dribbles, close control, and everything is kind of what we need in this regard, definitely. Or he already is preparing for AFCON. Could be the case. Definitely could be the case 100%. Yildiz is comfy with spending that bread on. I'm comfy, sorry. Surely our new chief scout has some ideas and thoughts too, yeah. And he's from Napoli as well. So he definitely knows the Italian market like his back pocket. So would not be surprised if at some point we see some Serie A proper gems coming out to Arsenal. Proven big players as well. Big up, Quaja. Big up, Quaja. Hope you're doing well today, brother. Hope you're doing well. Smash the likes and subscribe if you haven't already, people, as well. Saka might get more neglected with Yildiz on the left. But that's what we need. Ironically enough, that's what we need. We need to take attention away from Saka. Because we still are so lopsided when we attack, where about 55 to 65% still attack through the right. Still to this day. And when Saka was out and Madueke was replacing him this season, we were still 56% lopsided attack through the right. We need someone on the left to carry out and balance out the load at the end of the day. Pause. We still need that. And I think Yildiz definitely would be fantastic for that. Arsenal 2-0 Spurs. We'll see. We'll see. We got to do a preview show, well, in a while, but we gonna. Martinelli and Gyökeres update needs to be updated ASAP. Yeah, to some extent, yeah. I meant with Eze and Yildiz on the left. Wait, what? Yeah, if you mean like that, Saka might get more neglected with Eze and Yildiz on the left. I want that. I absolutely want that. Because, as I said, we are too lopsided. We should be able to shift the narratives, how we attack very freely, technically speaking, with the midfield, number 10s we have, and the at least right wing we have. But we don't. We still kind of force ourselves to attack and shift our attention to the right side still, which is very, very worrying. Let's just put it that way. And if we look at this long term, it definitely is not too sustainable because it hasn't been so far, and it's not going to continue that way. Let me check this. Give me a second. Let me check this. I want to say something. I want to find one thing, if I can, quickly. I want to find it quickly, if I can. I want to find this because it's a really interesting thing to look at. There it is. There it is. You're gonna see something here. Whoa, wrong. Here it is, basically. That's Chelsea, Brighton. As you can see, Brighton attack quite evenly through the wings, but mostly through the middle. Everton see 57% through the left. And here we go. Open play chances created, right? Open play chances created. Arsenal are of 25% left, 33% middle, and 41% on the right. We are still very lopsided, still to this day. It looks like this. And this looked even worse when Odegaard was in the team. That's the nuts part. This looked very worse, even worse when Odegaard was in the team. Am I tripping, or is it some feature because I can't see Dr. Steam? YouTube is weird in that way. Sometimes something doesn't pop up. Let's just put it that way. Something sometimes doesn't pop up. Big up, Godfrey. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Wait, let me find this one as well. I'm just looking, I'm just searching. Give me a second. Where is the Asna? I'm looking for the Asna. Bournemouth, Villa. Wrong one. I'm literally just searching at the moment. I'm very sorry that this is so luckless, though, but hey, it's a bit different. If I could find this, would be very nice, but finding on top of my head, it's actually finding it right openly on the spot. It's actually very annoyingly impossible to some extent. Let's just put it that way. But hey, yeah. And your big up, I think it's YouTube censoring me because of my name. There's a wind up because I agree this. You need to change it, I guess. You will have to change it. It's up chat to live. Yeah, also I'll switch to live chat. Probably considering my account as a stand, I won't. Yeah. Oh, so did my 30-year-old got age restricted somehow? Thanks. No, if you switch between top chat and live chat, it is happening like that. Definitely, it is happening like that. It works like that these days. Definitely. So, yeah. Arsenal. Where are Arsenal open playing? Uh-huh. I'm just trying to find on a quick note. I'm very sorry that I can't. It's really annoying me personally, but hey. Anyways, it is what it is. It is what it is. These are Arsenal's basically attacking patterns at the moment. They still are lopsided, I'm not gonna lie. Joker is toughest and allows defenders to be unchallenged. Yeah, but it's not enough. It's not enough in that regard. Definitely not enough. YouTube seems to amaze me every day. Skynet countdown is probably also. I don't know even what is happening there. YouTube are changing to a certain extent, but specifically to what at this stage, it's very hard to figure out because they are changing. They are running some tests. They're trying to figure something out, which is going all across the place. I'm not gonna lie. At the moment, they're again putting in some new algorithms apparently, and all that stuff. It's kind of weird. It's a bit kind of weird in that regard, if you look from that perspective. But yeah. So, since we have a few more minutes, is there anything else regarding Arsenal? Semenyo is an Arsenal fan. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. The thing about Semenyo is that I'm reading as well that Arsenal are not going to sign anyone. Arsenal are not going to sign anyone in January. They're looking for internal solutions in case of a big injury, which is worrying. I'm not going to lie. It is worrying. Then again, I don't want this manager getting any more money. I don't want this manager getting any more money. If the top Gunners and everyone can say that this was 10 out of 10 window, we just had best depth, best squad, best team, best manager, everything in the world, then go win it with it. You don't need anything else, according to you lot, basically, in those terms. So go win with it. Go win with it. No more excuses, no more injuries, none of this crap. Just go and win with it, because otherwise, like, how much money can you pump in and with no return? Let's just put it that way. How much money can you pump in with no return in that regard? Yeah, big up BBK. Yeah. Top Gunners were saying this is 10 out of 10 window. We have the best team in the world, best squad depth in the world, and all this stuff. We're going to win it all with this squad. And now they're complaining about injuries. It's very interesting how things change very quickly. They were on that vinyl of best in the world, and now they're on that vinyl. Oh, the injuries, and all this stuff. Like, that's the nuts part. And there is no accountability. There is no accountability, as always. It's actually quite embarrassing, to be honest. Because if we don't, we will, at this pace, we are not going to win anything. Everyone seems to be an Arsenal fan when they sign. No signings, maybe 1-2 loans for bodies. I don't even see that happening, to be honest. Not quality, still on hanging this option, but maybe Berta will whip something out. Well, what you want Berta whipping out, go talk to him, go talk to his wife about. That's between you lot. But at the end of the day, apparently, according to the recent reports and articles, Arsenal are looking for internal solutions. Even if a big injury hits, Arsenal think they have enough depth in every position, ironically enough, that they will do it. Arteta will be remembered as the guy who always needed one more signing. Yes, exactly. One more chance, one more opportunity, mom's spaghetti, and all this stuff. So we'll see. We're definitely going to see. But for me personally, I don't even know. Because for me, let's just say, if Rice gets injured right now and he's out for a certain amount of time, we're done, right? If Gabriel and Rice both are out, we're done. On top of all that, if it happens also at around the time when we play Crystal Palace, for example, in Carabao Cup, won't be surprised if he throws the cup in the bin. Because that is Arteta's signature move. Especially if we are on top of the table at the time, especially or near top of the table at the time, would not be surprised at all, because it happens a lot. It has happened before and will not surprise me if it happens again. And as always, AFTV will come out and say, oh, but we have bigger fish to fry, as always. Not a great one, though, is it? Not a great one in that regard. Let's just put it that way. But hey, I hope Arsenal wins something this season. But after this 1 billion spent, we are still short. We are still short. Because we can manage like 1-2 odd games, maybe 3 without Rice, without Gabriel, right? But we cannot manage few months without them. And it can happen unless Arteta forces them to play injured, which also would not surprise me because he's done it before, which means he's going to do it again when push comes to shove, isn't it? When going gets tough, Arteta gets desperate. And when Arteta gets desperate, well, we have seen what happens. What if Calafiori back? No, he's not going to do that. He's not going to do that because Calafiori is the left back option for him. And I don't see it happening. Because if he backs up Calafiori with Gabriel with Calafiori and puts Skelly as a left back, what was the point in Mosquera? What was the point in Hincapié then? I fully agree, but we still have way to see operating on oofs, buts, and maybes. Not doing that. Exactly. I'm not doing that. But at the same time, I was saying this in summer. I was saying this in September. Also in October, that at some point, one of our main guys who is going to get injured. And it happened to Gabriel. At the time, it also was in what's, buts, and maybes, but I just went off of what I have seen previously. Playing games in, games out, no rotation, no management, playing them in useless games where they should not be playing, and at some point, the penny had to drop. Same happened with Saka. Also said that for years. At some point, it had to happen. I said that the more it came, the more it happened. Unfortunately, it happens like that. Everyone in the fan base, well, not everyone, but big part of the fan base, well, I cannot say even big part, because big part is top Gunners. There was a part of the fan base who said, based on last season, how Saka was dropping, Rice played injured, and everyone, this season, we're going to see it again. And maybe we're going to see it even worse. And if we are not going to see it worse, we will see some other players who usually don't get too badly injured get long-term injuries. And it happened. Happened to Saka, happened to Gabriel, happened to Havertz. Whether you like him or not, that's a different story. And it could happen again. It could happen again. Because the squad management is not there. Player rotations are not there. Technically, squad depth is here, but at the same time, it's not there. After a billion spent over the years, you would think there is enough for backups and everything, but there's not. The drop-off from starting 11 to bench, even in certain positions, is like the Grand Canyon. They are not proper backups. And Arteta specifically doesn't trust specific players, and it's very evident and very visible. Despite the fact that he trusts them when shit hits the fan and he's back against the wall. But when he just needs to do it so they get some game time and everything, he doesn't. Only happens when Arteta's back is against the wall. It's like user and abuser. You use them when it's convenient for you, but afterwards you just bin them. Happened to Wanyeri, happened to Skelly, happened to ESR, happened to Trossard when he just signed. And it happens over and over and over again. Same stuff, same shit, different toilet at the end of the day. Okay, I'm done with my rant. Big up, Andrew. Have a nice evening. But yeah, people, like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new. Big up Oaxaca for gifted membership to Abs, aka Waffledon. And for today, I am signing off. So take care, stay safe, have a nice evening. Have a nice day tomorrow, and hopefully I'm going to see you tomorrow as well. Peace.